Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Dashboard Fridays. I'm Adam from Squared Up, and today I'm joined by my colleague Antron. Hey Antron.
Hey, how you doing, Adam?
Good, thank you very much for joining me today. Antron's in our solutions team, so if any of you have had a cloud demo or are looking at Squared Up Cloud in the future, Antron may very well be the person to help you get started with that. Today, though, we are going to some of Antron's in-depth knowledge on Prometheus, and we're going to be talking about how our Prometheus plugin works, how you can build dashboards for it. So, Antron, I've brought up your dashboard. The first thing I'll just sort of highlight for the viewers is this dashboard is clearly about a Kubernetes cluster running in AWS, but all of the data is from Prometheus. We just happen to have chosen some demo system we've got, but people can use Prometheus for all sorts of stuff, right? So this could be
Exactly.
about anything. In this case, it happens to be Kubernetes that you focused on here. So give us a walk through the dashboard. Explain what we're seeing.
Okay. Like you said, this is just just configurable data that I just happened to set up. So I just imported, just created some data streams to show some of the fundamental basic data that any Kubernetes administrator would find a little valuable. So just at a glance, I made sure that I incorporated a dashboard to show how many available nodes that we have. As you can see here at the top, just CPU utilization for the nodes, memory utilization, which is a big thing. Just in my experience, a key issue has always been where nodes run out of memory. So keeping an eye on that is pretty key. Um, Total disk space is also another thing, and total ingress and egress network traffic in and out of the cluster.
Nice. Okay, so like you said, like highline metrics that any Kubernetes admin probably wants to see. I guess if you were uh, obviously this is running in AWS, so there's probably a way our AWS plugin could get similar data out of CloudWatch, but because we're monitoring the whole cluster, maybe the workloads running on it, we are using Prometheus to store all that data. We can query it. You can build dashboards for it, that kind of stuff. So you mentioned it's all configurable data streams, right? We don't provide any data streams out of the box for Prometheus. We just give you a way to bring a query, and we'll run that query against Prometheus and show the data. So could you just maybe show us how that works?
Yeah, sure. So the process is actually, let me go back. Probably better if I just edit one of these, kind of show you what I already have. Right, there we go. So as you can see, I use scope around the Prometheus plugin, and I created a data stream and just kind of give you a look as to how that might appear. All it is just you give it a name and just provide the query at the bottom, which actually does all the work and pulls it directly from the TS DB from the Prometheus server.
And that's just a standard PromQL query. You could paste that straight into Prometheus, hit run, and you'd get exactly the same data, right?
Exactly. You can just copy paste directly into the Prometheus server and should get the same output.
Okay, cool. So if you've already got like a cheat sheet bookmarked or a text file full of all your favorite queries, it should just be a case of like copy and paste into Squared Up and build a dashboard, right?
Exactly. Actually, I've done that very same thing. I found a whole list of them and just put them into Note, and I go pull and plug.
Nice. Okay. And I guess one of the simple benefits here is you could turn on monitoring on this tile, right? You could be alerted if your CPU was too high or if your node count went below a certain threshold, that kind of stuff. So get the Prometheus data, do some nice simple monitoring with alerting outbound. Maybe a bit easier to configure than, say Prometheus Alert Manager or that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Cool. Okay. So maybe if you could just make a new tile at the bottom and just sort of go from the like how does somebody build their first data stream? What does that look like? So you mentioned you scope to the plugin and then create the data stream. So yeah, if you could just walk us sort of through that.
Sure. So we'll just create a new scope here and just find the Prometheus plugin which we're
Yeah.
using. In this case, my plugin is Prometheus EKS because everything's
Yep,
come
cool.
out of EKS. All right, and as you can see, I already have some pre-made Prometheus data streams using queries.
So
So
they're ones that you've already made. Like they're the
yes,
ones you've created already. So they're saved. You can reuse them. But yeah, down at the bottom there, you can see that one with the little plus symbol, and that's going to give you like a blank template that's going to let you build a brand new one.
exactly.
Okay,
So
there was another one there above the PromQL. There was a metric one. If you could just maybe
yes,
pop that open, we'll just see what that is. So that kind of does the same work as the query, but it kind of builds the query for you a little bit.
right, exactly.
Yeah,
So
cool.
you just do the same thing. Okay.
So if you click into like that metric box, for example, I'm guessing the plugin's automatically going to, yeah, it's going to pull a full list of all the metrics available in Prometheus just to make it a bit simpler to build those data streams. If maybe you're not like fully confident with writing your own query.
Yeah,
Nice, awesome.
exactly.
Is the plugin pretty easy to set up?
Yeah, it's actually very easy to set up. Anybody could just, regardless of skill level, come in and complete the fields and set it up within a matter of minutes.
Sorry, when you're adding the plugin, it's just the URL, right? And maybe an API token if you've got authentication enabled.
Right, exactly. So I can go through that process as well.
Nice, okay.
All right, and we have two options here, Prometheus, which is this is the version I'm currently using, which I've deployed to EKS, and then we have an on-premise version of the plugin, which utilizes which we would use if you had an on-premise deployment of Prometheus.
So that's where you're using the Squared Up Cloud Relay agent to like get behind your firewall or that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. So, and here's the plugin, and pretty straightforward. Only three pieces of information, well, actually two only necessary. Just give it a name and just provide Prometheus URL
Yeah.
for your server.
Nice. Okay. Cool. So if you do have authentication turned on and you need to use basic auth with a token, you can drop that in. We cover that too, but it's by default. I think Prometheus doesn't actually have any security on its API. So yeah, just the URL, right?
Yep, that's it.
Awesome. Super easy. So if you know Prometheus, you've got a few queries saved or you're comfortable writing queries, it is just a case of add the plugin, start building a dashboard, and just start dropping your queries in, and then you turn that into scalars, health blocks, line graphs, bar charts, donuts. You can turn on monitoring. You can do all that kind of cool stuff. Pretty straightforward. Awesome.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, I'll go ahead and wrap us up. Short and sweet, which is how we like them on Dashboard Fridays. So first of all, thanks to Antron for joining me today. I'm sure we'll get you back for another episode at some point soon. But for now, head over to squaredup.com/dashboard gallery to find all of our other great dashboards. There's lots of other videos like this. And if you have any technical questions, just jump over to Community Answers, community.squaredup.com. Most of us here are on Community Answers for our technical teams, and there's about 3,000 experts in the sort of IT ops and DevOps space just ready to answer questions for you. So yeah, thanks again for joining me, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Adam.